Welcome to the Astro Forecast for the week of January 31st to February 6th. This is a jam-packed week. Again, we just kind of, there is this 2021 is not done yet in terms of some of those cycles. And we're sort of seeing those play out with this Venus retrograde that's now gone direct, Mercury retrograde that's still in effect, and anything that you kind of had plans for or were trying to do has been absolutely derailed. And of course, Omicron is on the rise. There is possible war, very, very credible threat of war in Ukraine with Russia and the US and the NATO allies in there. So, and so many other things. This is a very, very turbulent time in the collective, and I'm sure you've been feeling it. And so as we start this week off, we're starting the week with a new moon in Aquarius, and it's actually straddling the 31st and the 1st. So it's actually at 10:46 Mountain Standard Time. Is that right? 10:46, yeah, Mountain Standard Time on the 31st, on Monday. But of course, if you go to Ontario, it is 12:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and in Vancouver, it's 9:46 p.m. Mountain Standard or Pacific Standard Time. So it's kind of straddling that 31st and 1st, and this is a very, very strong new moon. So at the time of the new moon, the sun and moon are at the exact same degree, which is in Aquarius. And this is a really beautiful, Aquarian new moons are really a time to set intentions and plant the seeds for how we can come together as a community. And it's so interesting because there is so much division. As soon as something controversial comes up in the news, instead of kind of coming through and seeing how can we now, sort of look at both sides of this, how can we now kind of come together in some sort of consensus and create solutions, maybe more than one solution that affects everyone and give people choices, right? That is not happening, right? It's kind of this way or that's it. And then where it's creating division because people jump on board that what's right and then everybody else is wrong. And that's not how life works. There is a spectrum, there is feelings, we're all the human race, right? So Aquarius is asking us to come together, humanitarian community, coming together to elevate humanity. And so that we can, really, it's like one love, but it's not a very emotional sign. And that's part of the problem with what's happening for this new moon and the build up to the new moon. It's a cerebral moon. Aquarius likes to think through their emotions versus feeling their emotions. So Aquarius is a beautiful new moon because it is the time of a humanitarian. It's now, how are we using our gifts and talents from Capricorn and using that into the world to better the world in some way, not just to better our own pocketbooks and our bank accounts and our lifestyles. It's now, how can we come together to help those who are less fortunate or who are going through a tough time? So many people have gone through, loss with COVID. I can't even tell you how many people I know. And of course, every time the virus surges, there are more and more deaths, and because we can't give them as much care or it's just inevitable. It's just that's why they've been trying to keep the numbers down. Obviously, it's just always has been a numbers game. And so this whole Aquarius moon is now asking us, how can we come together? And it's so interesting because clarity through contrast, right? We have to have the division to then come together. So something has to create for us all to focus on that and come together on something. So it's interesting when we start to see things rise in the news, how people come together to kind of fight the thing, or there's always something out there that we're trying to fight, right? And of course, there is absolute injustice out there. There's absolute things that are, these poor babies that are being found in these unmarked graves all over these schools where they were supposed to feel safe. Like, oh, that activates my Leo-ness. I have Venus and Saturn and Leo, so it's just, these babies. That kind of stuff really pulls to me. And that's going to also come up even more so. So this new moon in Aquarius is a very potent new moon, not only because the sun and moon are in this wonderful fixed air sign. Air is intelligence, ideas, intellect. That's why they're very cerebral, very smart people, the Aquarians, and it's also Aquarius time. So all the Aquarians having birthdays now. And this moon is sitting with Saturn. Ooh, Saturn loves structure. He loves rules. He loves restrictions. This is the way we got to do it. And Saturn in Aquarius is sort of breaking up the old structure so that we can elevate it and hold more, hold better, longevity of these structures. So I think there might be some more possible mandates coming out to kind of help to bring everyone together. I'm not sure what those mandates will look like, but it tends to be when Saturn in Aquarius conjuncts the sun and moon, there's something here for us to protect society in some way. And I don't envy the people in government right now because they're trying to sort of appease everyone and find a way to, I don't even know what that is. I'm just an astrologer, coach, psychic. I can feel the energy of the time. It is chaotic. And what's kind of adding more of a punch to this is the sun and moon are squaring to Uranus. Now, Uranus is now the modern ruler of Aquarius. So it's kind of squaring itself in essence. And this is about revolution, evolution. It is the god of chaos, the great awakener. He likes to change things up to evolve, right? That's why he's the ruler of Aquarius, modern ruler of Aquarius. Interesting to note, Saturn is the Hellenistic or the traditional ruler of Aquarius. So what that means, Saturn is about kind of, can we bring structure together? Can we bring authority into Aquarius now and elevate society and use those structures to help people? Versus Uranus is like, let's break apart those structures. And, you know, if you know an Aquarius, they don't follow the rules, right? They're all about rules do you want to apply. They kind of break out of that box. So this new moon is going to really bring up for you not only where can you find your place in all of this? But really, Aquarius is also about your uniqueness, your gifts and talents that you bring out to the world that make you uniquely you. And can you find your tribe of people that also support your uniqueness and your gifts and talents and bring those out into the world? This is about really celebrating our gifts and our unique abilities and not trying to conform or not trying to kind of hide them, right? It's about shining that light out into the world. And can you find your people that help you feel safe to do that or that are like you to do that, and not cut off communication to people who are not like you, because we all need to help each other. We are all part of the human race. So this square is really saying, can we still find the community? Can we still bring this structure in and be responsible to one another without dividing and othering each other? So that square is not easy. Square is kind of a crisis or a challenge, but I always like to call it the sandpaper that shines up our spirit. That's why we came here to Earth School, right? To have this experience, shine our light, and to grow, because this is what else are you going to do here, right? Grow. And so on Thursday, Mercury goes direct in Capricorn, and is not a yay day because it's stationary direct this week. So it's very intense, and we're going to really feel like our technology and our communication might be a little off. But I could really feel when Mercury went into Capricorn, oh my goodness, because it's an earth sign. So it brought that kind of communication down into what are we now, beliefs and ideas and goals that we are now changing, because we went through the intellectual, okay, you know what, these thoughts are no longer serving me, these ideas are no longer serving me, and it came into Capricorn. Now how can we, with those ideas and beliefs gone, how can we change our goals and our actions and our plans moving forward? So that's why your plans have not gone well, not gone well at all, because Mercury is kind of taking out the ideas and beliefs behind what those plans were because they weren't really serving you. I hear you, Spirit. And how can we now use that new information to recreate our goal plan, to recreate our resolutions and our way forward for this year? So this direct movement, we're not going to be out of Mercury shadow until February 24th. So if you can hold off on signing contracts or doing anything major until then, it would be a good idea. Mercury will go into Aquarius again, forward motion on Valentine's Day. That's going to be interesting. So your actions are going to create new outcomes by that point. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. And Friday is going to be the best day of the week by far. It was lots of motivation with Mars sextile to Jupiter. So we're going to feel a lot of energy and motivation to move forward. And the sun is conjunct Saturn. So on a positive note, sun conjunct Saturn is we feel responsible. We want to move forward with our plans and actions. So this is kind of helping with that Mercury a little bit in forward motion, still stationary direct at this point, but still we have this desire now to move forward in our life with authority, with purpose, with meaning. It can also be a little constrictive and restrictive. So we might feel like we're not quite able to move forward just yet, which indicates to me there might be some mandates here, especially Aquarius. Virus likes to move through the air. That's Aquarius, actually. And so this might mean that we're trying to mitigate that in some way. Or it could also be that we're getting rid of restrictions as they did in the UK. So that's quite interesting. Will be interesting day to see that. And then Saturday and Sunday, it's a little bit of a frustration days. The moon is squaring to Mars, which can feel irritated and frustrated, square to Venus, where our relationships might be feeling like we're not feeling seen or we're not feeling um, appreciated. And then on Sunday, the moon is square to Mercury, which is our mind versus our heart. And the moon is also square to Pluto, which can feel very explosive and very irritating. So the weekend, we might not be in the best headspace to do anything big or have any deep conversations. I certainly would not not recommend doing anything big that requires a lot of emotion. It could be a very emotionally draining days. And it's a great time to really self-care, to journal anything that's coming up for you, to really stay off maybe social media, curate your feeds as I've been doing to really kind of help your mental health. These are mental health days. Do things that bring you joy and, watch some Golden Girls. That's my joy place. And really take care of yourself and your vessel on the weekend, especially. All right. So, wishing you a wonderful week ahead, navigating this energy. If you want some inspiration, want some laughs, stay tuned to my IG channel and my Facebook business page. I share a lot of inspirational and uplifting things. I came here to be a light into this world. And I also like helping people heal their trauma. So it's not about bypassing or spiritual positivity here, toxic positivity. This is about, can we navigate this energy, understanding why we're feeling triggered? Can we heal that part of us and still hold our mindset in abundance and what we want instead? Because if we live in the past, we are then just bringing in more and more and more of that stuff in the past. And of course, we need to enact change in the future to make this world better. And how are we doing that? Coming together, Aquarius, with each other. All right. Wishing you a great week ahead. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Bye.